Hello, how are you? Welcome to Farrell Swim Tech. My name is John Farrell. I'm the host of this show, and this is the show where I take user-submitted videos and I help them swim faster and at the same time help you swim faster if you happen to be having the same problems. So just as always, my background is I swam competitively for over 15 years. I was a high school All-American and swam for Brigham Young University. And I've been doing triathlons for about the past 3 years. I'm still a garbage biker and runner, but I still hold my own really well in the swim. I've also been coaching swim technique for over 10 years now, and I've been able to translate the pool experience into open water and help people get faster. So the video today is submitted by Josh. He is a member of Team Zoot. And so he has told me he swims around a 2 minute per 100 that's about his average time. So really today what we're going to be looking for is we're going to be looking for ways that Josh can, number one, reduce drag, and number two, strengthen his pull. Because usually the kick doesn't really help too much. It's usually a hindrance. It's usually more of a liability than an asset in terms of actually generating power and speed. So we're going to look at the kick as well, and we're going to try and see how we can turn the kick from a liability into something that's normal. Okay, I'm not looking to make his kick amazing. We're just trying to make his kick not be a liability. Okay, so what I got right over here is I got a basic video of Josh swimming a 50, and we're gonna do. I like to do what I like to call a lightning round right at the beginning. So this is where I talk about. I show the footage and I just kind of throw out things that I'm seeing. Now, you know, I have seen this footage before. I have reviewed this footage, so I kind of know already what I want to talk about. But this is more of just a general things that I see, but with my experience as a technique coach. And then we're going to really drill down into 3 different items that Josh can be working on and you can be working on as well. And remember, before I dive into this, my email is right here, thefarrell@gmail.com. If you've got any questions whatsoever about swimming, feel free to shoot me a message there. Or if you don't want to send me an email, just write something in the comments, like and subscribe if you like these videos. I know the majority of my content on my channel is either yo-yos or Twitch streaming, but I'm starting to get into this virtual stroke technique coaching thing. If you want to see more of these videos, you got to hit that like button. It would be greatly appreciated. And, yep, so here we go. Here is Josh swimming a 50. So push off, not too bad. I gotta wait for the camera person to pan up a little bit. So first thing I'm seeing right off the bat, I am seeing that the arms are coming in towards the head, not a lot of reach on top of the water. Typically what this does is this introduces a lot of drag, a lot of pushing forward forces into the stroke. We always want to have that hand reaching over the water as much as possible. Another thing I see with Josh is that his hands are coming in with his palms towards the outside. That sets you up for not optimal pull paths. So we always like to try and keep our hand toward the inside and bend that elbow outward. Another thing I'm not seeing is I'm not seeing his feet ever reach the surface with his kick, and his butt is definitely underwater. That is symptomatic of a poor body posturing. So as he's swimming right here, right now, I'm seeing that his hands extend out really far, and I see them sink, and then he snaps them into the pull. Why this is not good, and this will be the first thing that we drill into. When we swim, we don't want to make sudden, fast movements. All right? Sudden, fast movements that are not, specifically for sprinting. We get in trouble with that because of water being squishy. Okay? Water is squishy. It is not a hard surface. When we want to run faster, we push on the ground harder. When we want to go faster on the bike, we want to push down on the pedals harder. Swimming doesn't necessarily work like that. You gotta understand there is a certain surface, there is a certain pressure threshold that you can keep on the water before you thrash. All right? So what Josh is doing right now is what I like to call the thrash potential. Josh has exceeded the thrash potential with his pull. He's trying to pull really hard, really fast. That doesn't create enough pressure on the water in order to effectively push that water backwards. Okay? So let's back up just here. What we're going to do is we're going to go underwater now. So you see here, watch the part where he snaps back, snap back, snap back, snap back. Okay, let's watch again. This is a short clip. Snap back, snap back, snap back. All right. So watch his pull and snap and snap and snap. All right. So what's happening here with Josh's stroke is that here. Let me bring myself in full view. So what's happening is he's grabbing the water, he's pushing it down, and then snap. So he bends the elbow, allows his hand to be here, and he's doing this with the water. So in other words, here, okay, you see this and snap, okay? It's not a full push with the water. It's a boom, okay? From here to here. All right, there's a definite snap motion with that arm. Now, the reason why, and the thought process is, you're grabbing the water here, and you're pushing it from here to here, okay? And if I just go boom, that's gonna move that water really fast. That's gonna move me forward. The problem is the thrash potential of your stroke. Now, the thrash potential is a wonderful little term I made up. Don't Google it. You're not going to find it. I kind of made up this term, and there's a more scientific-y term to it, but let's just call it the thrash potential. This is the line where when you're swimming, when you're pushing water and you're just thrashing through water, okay? So what Josh is doing is Josh is not grabbing that water with a stiff arm. That's essentially what it comes down to. Josh pushes his hand down, and then he grabs the water down here, and then he bends his elbow back and then snaps it backwards. So what we're going to do is we're going to go back to that first underwater clip here. We're going to speed it down to 50%. Okay? We're going to speed him down to 50%, and I'm going to step you through what's going on here, okay? So we're going to go back to the beginning. So, and snap, okay? You can see it better on the back arm. You can see it a little bit on the front arm. So right here, okay? So his right arm, his left arm is extended, okay? His left arm is extended. Let's follow the path. First off, notice his hand is like this. So the entire time his hand is underwater, he's pushing water forward. Okay? You see, his arm is completely underwater. There's a little bit of cavitation bubbles. He's trapped a little bit of air underneath his fingertips, but his hand is in this position, pushing forward. Okay? Number one, we want to get our palm in line. Okay, this may be a small thing, and this may alleviate slightly the problem with not getting that elbow up and over the water and that full extension, but this will help alleviate the problem. So the difference is here versus here. Okay, so step number one, learn how to kind of straighten that palm without coming here when you're pushing forward, okay? So it's just between here and here, okay? So you're going to extend those knuckles out and grab, you want to grab the water, I'm sorry, let me get it better in the camera, okay? So as opposed to being here and grabbing like this, grab it like this, okay? Or you can, and that's honestly a small potatoes thing, but you could see in the water right here that he is actually pushing water forward with his hand. Okay, so we're gonna add a little bit. Okay, now it's pushing down. down, down. Okay, you see? His arm is fully extended. His arm is fully extended, and he's pushing down, 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 down. Okay, so he's down to about here with his left arm. Now it's still down. Okay, so this is what I like to call the half moon pull. This is where your arm is here, and the arm stays straight all the way down. So if you follow that path all the way to the back, that creates a semicircle or a half moon. This is what I call the half moon pull. So what he's doing is he's pushing down, 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 and then, oh, crap. No, 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 don't do that to me. Don't pixelate on me. Okay, so down, right here. Okay, so right here, he's all the way down here. His elbow engages. You see that elbow engage right there. Now, right there is the snap. Right there, and the flick. Okay? Flick. You see that arm? That arm goes straight. Here, let's bring it back here. Okay, right there, and boom. Arm goes straight. Okay? Now, watch the rest of the pull. So his arm has now gone straight. He has now finished his effective pushing water backwards phase. He's pushed water pretty much from here to here. Okay? So if our idea is we reach up, grab a brick, push all the way down, he has only grabbed a brick here, and he's pushed it to about here. That much. This much, imagine my arm's completely outstretched, versus about this much. Okay? That's the amount of pull Josh is getting per stroke. So he is getting less than 50% of each arm pull is actually pushing water backwards or down. If you're looking at me from the bottom of the pool, I'm going to be reaching up, pushing water all the way down. I'm only grabbing water here and finishing about here. Okay? Watch the hand. The hand goes there, the elbow engages, and the arm comes straight out to the side. Okay? So, item number 1. If Josh wants to get faster, Josh needs to pull from start to finish. All right? Now, let me bring myself, oh, yuck, wrong one. Wrong filter. Okay, so the idea is, if you're standing on land, you can reach up to the sky, okay? All right? I tell you what direction is up is up, okay? I'm going to tilt my camera up. So I reach up to the sky, okay? I'm sorry, my mic was too far away. I reach up to the sky, okay? I ask you what direction is up, I'm reaching up to the sky. So what you're going to do is you're going to grab a brick. You're going to push that brick down, okay? Grab the brick, push it down, okay? And then you're going to push that brick all the way to the floor. That is your pull, okay? So if I'm at the side, okay, I'm right here. So when I finish my recovery, my hand is here. I'm going to grab that brick, bend the elbow, push it down, all the way underneath, down to the bottom, okay? That is how you effectively pull. So, how do we learn this? Because Josh, you want to get under that 2-minute mark. You can be at the 1:45 mark. I see that you got the strength. You can easily be at the 1:45 mark. We got to get you more pull per stroke, more distance per stroke. Remember, you could be here. You're about here. This from starting here, finishing here. That's the effective amount of pull you're actually pushing water backwards. You always move in the opposite direction you push water, okay? So if I reach out here, so if I start my stroke, my stroke is here, okay? If I'm pushing down, 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 you're moving upwards, okay? This to this does you nothing. This to this from here to here gets you moving forward, okay? Up. So I'm here. I'm going to grab that brick, push it back, push it back, push it back. Okay, you see my hand with my ring on it all the way back here? That's where you want to stop. You want to stop with your hand back here. Elbow comes up over the water. Place the hand on the water. What we want to do is we want to avoid putting our hand near our head and pushing out underneath the water. This does two things. Number one, this promotes low body positioning in the water because your arm is pushing forward and it's going to drive you under the water. You want that arm to come up and over the water. Number two, this pushes water forward. I showed you specifically, I saw the hand like this. That is actually pushing water forward. That is actively resisting any forward progress you're making with your stroke. All right? So number one, we always want to figure out how to stop pushing water forward. Always. If you're looking to improve your stroke technique, look at yourself, film yourself, see where you're potentially pushing water forward. In other words, me towards the camera. If I'm here and I'm swimming like this, if I'm pushing water towards the camera, that is the number one thing you want to work on. Work on stopping to do that. Typically, if you work on actually pulling with correct technique, you will wind up stopping that in the long run. So with Josh, where we really want to start focusing on is distance per stroke. How do we get that distance per stroke? You get it by doing dry land, okay? Item number one, the catch. How to properly catch the water. What Josh is doing is his hand is out lateral. He pushes down until about here, then he catches the water. What we want to do is we want to catch that water immediately. You want to be here, catch that water, and then as you're pushing backwards, that hand is sinking to the correct depth. All right? You start high, grab that water, push it, the hand comes low. All right? The hand comes about to where your belly button is. All right? Now, so first dry land exercise is touch the belly button. All right? This is a very simple exercise. You're going to stick your hand out perfectly straight. Grab a brick, okay? So notice this isn't here, it's here. All right? You want to grab that brick with your hand arm straight. Okay? Number two, in one motion, you're going to bend your elbow out, bring your hand down to touch your belly button. Okay? Scoop, bend, push. Okay? Because the pull is only from about here to here. Okay? Once you get this part, it's actually a pushing motion. All right? Lots of people kind of get hung up on this idea of you're pulling. No, you're pushing. If you envision yourself pushing yourself through the water, okay? Another good thing to do is just sink yourself, grab the deck, grab the pool deck, okay? But be away from the starting blocks. Be to the side of the starting blocks. Hang, okay, so I'm right here. I'm hanging onto the pool deck. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to push myself out of the pool. You're going to push yourself out of the pool. That's a really good kind of a visualization exercise of what you're actually doing in the water, okay? Because we're not pulling. If you're pulling, that elbow's going to be back. You're going to use a lot of your upper back muscles because you're thinking pull-ups, okay? You do pull-ups, you work your upper shoulders and your upper back. That's not where we really want to focus our power. We want to focus our power more on the pectorals and the biceps and the wrist, because if you focus your power there, your other muscles will kick in. The correct muscles will kick in. But if you're here, if you're using your upper shoulder and your upper back area, you're not going to engage any of these muscles that really help power your arms through the water purposefully, okay? So, now, grab that brick, elbow bends out, okay? So, number one, so actually a pre-step is just getting the elbow to bend out, okay? elbow, out. Okay, you see? My elbow is in line with my arm. My elbow will now bend outward. So you just touch right inside of your, just kind of your upper chest area, just inside of your shoulder, okay? All right, so my clavicle's right there, just below the clavicle. All we're doing is bending that elbow outward. That's step number 1. Step number 2, grab the brick, push it down to your belly button. Grab the brick, push it down to your belly button. Grab the brick, push it down to your belly button. Why the belly button? The belly button, if you're right about here, see my arm is just about 90 degrees, okay? Realistically, it's going to be about 110, somewhere in there. But 90 degrees, not a bad place to start. So, grab the brick, go to the belly button. Grab the brick to the belly button, all right? So, right arm, left arm. Grab that brick to the belly button. Grab the brick first. Don't pull the arm back, then grab the brick. Grab the brick, then push, okay? And if you want to get more out of it, focus on keeping your hand in line once it gets to about here, okay? Because you're going to start here. Your wrist is going to be noticeably bent, okay? And then you're going to bring it to where your wrist is flat. Your wrist is going to be flat with your forearm, and then you're going to push back. And while you push back, engage these muscles, engage your pectorals, engage your biceps, your triceps at the same time. If you engage them at the same time, you will pop your arm into about 90 degrees, okay? If you engage both your biceps and your triceps, you're going to pop it into that 90 degrees. So as you grab that and you push backwards, engage both of those muscles, get that 90 degree, go back and push your belly button, okay? So that's step number 1. Step number 2, air swimming, okay? Step number 2 is air swimming. So what we're going to do is we're going to reach up, grab that brick, and then push it down. Get yourself to about here. Check yourself to make sure that your arm is about 90 degrees. And then you're going to push that arm to where your arm, you want to push that arm down to the ground to where it's at your side and your wrist is in line. Your wrist is in line with your forearm. Your forearm is in line with everything, okay? So this is your midpoint. This is your end point, all right? So for the first couple ones, so essentially all you're doing is reaching up, grabbing a brick, and pushing it all the way down. So what you want to focus on is you want to focus on nice, smooth movement with stiffness, okay? The idea is we never want to break the stiffness with our arms. We never want to do that. Why? We don't want to be here and then just, you know, we don't want to break that stiffness. We don't want to go, you know, let our arm go limp and then re-engage. If you re-engage, it's going to take about this much distance in order to actually re-engage the water, okay? So when you push down in one solid movement. You're going to grab it here, push it down, 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 okay? So that is your dry land exercise. Now, when you get in the pool, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want a snorkel. This is one of those times where having a snorkel will be of immense benefit, because what you're able to do is and if you want, throw a pull buoy on for these ones. Throw a pull buoy on, throw a snorkel on. You're going to have a good time with this one. So what you're going to focus on is you're going to focus on replicating, engaging the same muscles you did on land in the water. With the pull buoy, you should be able to float with no problems. With the snorkel on, just take nice, easy breaths, make it across the pool, engage those muscles, push that water all the way backwards. Grab, push all the way backwards, okay? Grab immediately when that hand gets into the water, then push it all the way back. All right, so what I want to do, so you want to do that, focus on that with your swims. Because if you're at or over 2 minutes per 100, you're going to not get enough cardio out of swimming. You're just not. You're not going you're not going hard enough, and you're not going to get enough yardage in to really say, oh man, I got a really good swim workout today. You're not. I'm sorry. I know I'm probably going to get yelled at for this, but you're really not. Your cardio you're going to get with the bike and the run is going to be way more better for your cardio system than the swim will be. All right? What you want to do on the swim is focus on technique. If you focus on your technique, your times will drop way faster than pounding out a buttload of yardage with garbage technique. I can guarantee that. So, throw that snorkel on, do all of your swim workout focusing on that technique. Grab the brick, push it back. That's all you're focusing on, and you really want to focus on that for about legitimately a month. If you're swimming 2, maybe 3 times a week for 1 hour, that's all you got time for. You don't have time to really focus on anything else. I guarantee you, you do this, your swim will get so much faster. Have a warm-up without the snorkel, have a couple hundreds at the end without a snorkel, everything else with a snorkel, focus on this pulling technique. This is going to be revolutionary, I guarantee it. What I want to do now is I want to shift over and I want to show you what my pull technique looks like. And this is legitimately pulling. I don't have a good video yet of me just being on the water, just swimming distance. I really need to take care of that this winter. Let's see here. Swim technique videos, me, and there. All right. So what I want to show you is I want to show you my pulling technique. Now, yes, I'm using paddles, but this helps emphasize the technique. So I am there reaching forward, grab the water, push it back. Okay? My arms are on top of the water until they touch the water at the top, and remember, this is still at 50%. We'll actually bring that back to normal. So this is just a 50 I did back in 2020. So grab the water, push it back. See, my catch is really high in the water. You want to grab that water as soon as you possibly can. My catch is a little bit lower with paddles because it takes a little bit longer for me to engage the paddles that are that big. Pro tip. Oh, crap. I am so sorry. I forgot to show you the actual video. Okay, Frito, edit all that stuff out. You see, I got my edit guy, Frito, off camera, and he makes sure that any of these oopsies, they all get edited out, so you never see them. Okay? All right. 3, 2, 1. All right. So what I want to show you is swim technique of me swimming a 50. So we're right here. So you can see that my hands are coming over the water during the recovery. Now, you're going to say, but Farrell, wait a minute. Your hands are sinking a little bit before you start your actual pull. Well, that's because of the paddles. The paddles, it takes a little bit longer for me to engage the water. So, but that you see the hands, they grab, and then they push the water backwards all the way to the back. My hands end at the hips. It is one full motion pulling from start to finish. So, that's how you want to pull. That's what you want to focus on. You don't need paddles for this. Paddles may help. I personally do not recommend paddles, and the reason why is because they artificially inflate the surface area of your hand. It kind of makes you feel like you're better pulling than you are. Very much so. If you're going the snorkel route, I very much so recommend you don't use paddles because it doesn't help you understand how to grab that water. There's some people that say it helps. I personally do not believe it helps. It helps you build muscle. It helps you build shoulder mobility. There are certain paddles that can help with the catch, with that kind of a technique. But I can't recommend it for beginners. It's just going to cause a lot of frustration, and it's just going to be wicked annoying, and you're going to hate them. Trust me. I went through my whole career pretty much using that style of paddle. I used that paddle from when I got into college all the way until I graduated from college, 4 years. And if you're a pro level, the tier Catalyst paddles, they're the best ones I've ever used. Hands down, no questions asked. I love those paddles. Zoot paddles, they're not bad. They're good. They're a little more ergonomic, which is nice, but they're kind of on the smallish side. They only have one size of paddles, so if you need bigger paddles, use the tier Catalyst 2s. But anyway, I'm sorry, this is not a paddle video. This is a stroke technique video. So yes. So you want to grab that water and you want to push it backwards. So that's what you want to do with your arms. Now what we want to look at is your legs. Now one thing to note is your breathing. Your breathing's fine. The only thing we want to fix with the breathing is not let that hand, when you take your breath to your right, your left hand shoots all the way down to the bottom. That creates a half moon pull. So if you focus on instead reaching with the rotation as opposed to reaching towards the bottom of the pool to get that body rotated, that's going to kind of flatten that out. Focus on bending that elbow, pushing backwards. One other thing you want to start working on is during the recovery. The recovery mostly is fine. Try and get that recovery up and over the water. And when you place your hand in the water, have your palms towards the inside. Oh my gosh, my right hand is killing me. Wow. I did some trail clearing service yesterday, and my right hand, like right here, is absolutely killing me. Fantastic. So have your palms in towards the center, because then this allows you to push your elbow out a lot easier during that initial catch phase. So last thing I want to talk about very briefly is the kick. Your kick is quintessentially what I like to call the wiggle kick. The wiggle kick is not good for two main reasons. Number one, it provides virtually zero propulsion. Number two, it wastes your energy. Okay, so let me show you. And Josh, I do apologize. I know the swim shorts are not the most flattering swim shorts, but this is one of the best versions of wiggle kicking I have ever seen. I may save this for future posterity to teach them how not to do the wiggle kick. I do apologize if it sounds like I'm making fun of you, but I'm not. It's a very common problem. You know, lots of men and women all over this nation and world have problems with the wiggle kick. You are not alone, my friend. And with 5 easy steps and your credit card. Okay, I'm kidding. All right, here's the footage. So, so we get down to the kick. Okay, so let me bring it down to 50%. So what you're seeing here is you're seeing lots of knee bending, lots of knee movement, and not really a lot of propulsion with the legs, okay? So the legs are doing a lot of moving, but only maybe the very end part of the legs are actually doing anything, okay? So let me show you what it looks like with my arms, because your arms actually can be pretty darn good analogs for kicks for your legs, okay? Here's your feet, here's your knee, back of the knee, top of the knee, okay? So you're kicking, oh, let me shift this over. So you're kicking, you should be kicking like this. Your kick is kind of like this, okay? It's kind of wiggly, it's kind of kicky. The problem is there is zero stiffness in your legs. Your legs are timey-wimey wibbly wobblies, okay? They're kind of doing this. There's a little bit with here, from your knee down there, but your upper leg, which pretty much everybody, your upper leg is bigger than your lower leg. You have more surface area. Push down. Push that water backwards. I swear I'm not drunk. So you actually want to kick with straight legs. You want to kick with as straight legs as possible. This is the number one thing I tell people when they want to start learning how to kick properly. Now, I know there's a lot of people that might say, well, you bring your leg up, you bend the knee, and then you extend the leg, and then you push it down. Well, the problem is when your leg is just kind of doing this kind of a thing, start here. Start with kicking with straight legs. So my typical prescription for learning how to kick with straight legs, start in a chair, start on the ground, just do this. Start here. Start here. You want to start here. Point your toes. Just move your legs like this. Lock your knees. Lock your knees. Move your legs like this. Start in a chair. Start on the ground. Start here. Start with your butt on the ground. Just like this. Okay? We want to feel the quads engaging. We want to feel the hamstrings engaging. We don't want to feel the knees engaging. Because right here, you could feel these tendons right in your knees. If these tendons are engaging, which sounds like a click-clacker right now, feels like a click-clacker, you're not doing it right. Lock those knees. You want to feel those quads engaging. Okay, now you're probably saying, but Farrell, I don't want my quads to engage. If my quads engage, they won't be good for the bike and the run. Slow down, partner. You only have to kick about this hard. You don't have to kick very hard. You just have to kick properly, and your kick will do something for you, and you don't have to gas them for the bike and the run. So, hold up, got something on my arm. So that's number one. Number two, roll on your stomach, kick like this, okay? Roll on your stomach, Superman kick, really good for your lower back, it's really good for your lower back. And if you want to do it on your back, it's really good, and you hold a crunch, really good ab workout too. So you can knock out two birds with one stone here. Work on your kick technique and get fancy, awesome six-pack abs, which I have never had my entire life. So no matter how much ab work I did back in college, I could not get a six-pack to save my freaking life. Thank you, genetics. Yay! So yeah. So do it on your back, do it on your belly. Then you want to go to the pool. So what you want to do with the pool is you want to do that again on the pool deck. So sit on your butt, kick with your knees straight, and roll. You do that for about 30 seconds. Roll over onto your belly. Do that for 30 seconds. Then you want to slide in the water, hold the wall. So grab the wall up here, bring your fingers down and hold the wall, okay? You want to push yourself into a straight profile on top of the water, okay? You want to be on top of the water. So when you're on top of the water, you then want to kick for about 30 seconds. Then you're going to grab either a kickboard or you're going to put on your snorkel and you're going to stream. So either number one, kick with a kickboard for a 25, or pop your snorkel on, kick in a streamline on top of the water for a full 25, okay? Focus on only kicking with straight legs. It is going to feel abso-dadgumlutely weird for the first 25, but I guarantee you lock those knees and you move it from the hips. Use your hips, use your glutes, use your quads to move those legs up and down. Don't let that knee do this. Don't let it do that. That's not going to do anything for you. This, not this. All right? So, do that for a 25. Repeat that 4 times. Okay, repeat that 4 times. Then you want to swim for a 50, using that kick pattern. Okay? Then do it again. Now, one other thing that you can work on at the same time is your body positioning. Because when you're holding that streamline with the rhino snorkel, what you want to do is you want to hold the best profile and get your feet out of the water every single kick. If you're holding a good streamline, and the way to do a good streamline is you want to go hand over hand. You don't want to do hands by your side. You don't want to streamline like Superman. Superman sucks at streamlining. Hand over hand, okay? Take this thumb, that's on the top. Hook it over your bottom hand, okay? Then you're going to reach up to the sky. When you're on the water, the sky is the other side of the pool. You're going to reach up and you're going to kick. You're going to kick all the way to the other side, okay? So, you're going to focus on having 3 points of contact out of the water, okay? So now if you haven't realized, we have now shifted from talking about kicking to now talking about body positioning, all right? Because right now, Josh's kick is fully submerged under the water. We absolutely do not want this. We want that kick to have the feet come out of the water every single time. What we're going to do right now is I'm going to shift back to me, and I'm going to show you proper freestyle kicking. All right? So what you see is my feet are coming out of the water every single time. My butt is pretty much on top of the water. The only reason why it's slightly underwater is because that's simply the way it works with the kickboard. When you're this is why I recommend streamline kicking. If you kick with a kickboard, unless you are just reaching with that kickboard, like this is pretty much how I am when I kick. I reach up to the sky. I have a very long profile, and my legs are on top of the water. But because I have my upper body out of the water, my lower body winds up sinking underneath the water, okay? So if you really want to work on that body positioning, I say ditch the kickboard, use a rhino snorkel, streamline kick on top of the water. You're going to kill two birds with one stone. Your butt's going to be on top of the water. Your shoulders are going to be on top of the water. Your feet are going to be coming out of the water every single time you kick. That is the indicator of a good body positioning. Okay, I did this with a pro triathlete last month. It worked fantastically. So I very much so recommend, if you're having body positioning issues, Josh, you are, streamline kick on top of the water with the rhino snorkel. Now, where do you go from there? What's the next step? Because what I like to do is I like you to have steps. Because if you try, and also one other thing, when you're working on these technique items, I have one technique item per workout. Don't try and throw too many technique items into the same workout, especially if you're deep diving into really, focusing on that technique. Like when you do that kick set, don't work on the pull of that workout. Do that kick set. You want to repeat that 4 times. Then you want to do a 50 swim. You want to do those 400s, you want to do that 5 times for a full 500 of kicking. That is going to be your entire workout that day. Is 500 yards of kicking on the side of the deck, 2 rotations on your butt, on your belly, inside the water, kicking for about 30 seconds, pushing off, rhino snorkel, streamline kicking for a full 25, okay? You're going to repeat that process 4 times for a full 100. You're going to swim for a 50. So 150, so that's going to be like a 900 yard workout. That's going to be your workout for the day. When you work on the pull, you want to integrate the pull in when you're working with your pulling, grabbing the brick, pushing all the way back. You want to focus on that for the whole workout, whatever workout you wind up doing. But make that kick a special workout in and of itself. Make sure you don't come in with stupid tired legs, okay? Try not to come into that workout with stupid tired legs. It's just going to make your life a whole lot more miserable. So with regards to the body positioning, you want to focus on, so number 1, do it with the streamline kick. If you want to focus on a full, if you want to turn this into a half a workout, half of your workout's dedicated to body positioning, here's what you do. And I will finish with this. I promise I'll be done. These videos do run a little long. I do apologize, but a lot of these, you got to really deep dive and understand what's going on in order to be able to fix the problem. So how do you fix your body positioning? Okay, number 1, streamline kicking on top of the water. This will get your body position elevated to where it's actually on top of the water, and you will feel a noticeable difference of reducing the drag by elevating your body position within the water. That's number 1. Number 2, what you're going to do is you're going to keep that snorkel on, you're going to keep that kick going, and what you're going to do is you're going to pull with one arm. You're going to keep one arm in the streamline, keeping it on top of the water as possible. You're going to pull with one arm for half a 25, half a 25, and then pull with the other arm for the half a 25. These pulls have 0 power behind them. Your arm is moving. It is not pushing water. Your arm should be going legitimately about this fast. And then recover, pull, recover. So your normal pull is going to be about here, okay? Your arm speed for this drill is going to be very slow. The full purpose of this is to get your arms moving while your body is on top of the water, okay? So you cannot move into this phase until your whole body position is on top of the water during your streamline kicks, okay? Easiest way to do this, have someone on the deck with a camera film you while you do your 25. If you think you got it, film yourself, check it, and say, good, I got this. Do a couple more 25s, then move on to this next step. Drill, barely pushing any force on that arm. That arm is just going with the flow. Just keep on going with the flow. Go with the flow. So the way you want to do this is you want to do that with your right arm, then your left arm, then you want to do it with both arms, but still zero power. What you're doing is you're building the feeling of moving your arms while staying on top of the water. This is an excruciatingly long process, but trust me, when you learn how to swim, when your body position is another 6 inches out of the water, you're going to feel like you're flying. I guarantee it. It's going to take a couple workouts, going to take a couple weeks in order to get this feeling fully adjusted, but this is the way to do it. Streamline kick with your body on top of the water. Drill, one arm each, half a 25 one arm, half the 25 the other arm, pushing with zero power, moving the arms while your body is on the surface of the water. Number 3, drill. Both arms, normal freestyle, except still not pushing with any power. Next, gradually add power back into your stroke during the next couple 25s to where after about 3 to 4 25s, you're back to your normal power into your stroke, but you're still focused on staying on top of the water. Now, what you got to realize is, am I starting to sink under the water when I reintroduce power into my arms? A couple things to look out for. Number 1, are you pushing your arms underneath the water? You drive yourself under the water, you're going to drive your front end underneath the water. If that's the case, work on recovering with your hands over the water. Number 2, am I pushing my arm down during the course of the pull? Okay? You're doing the half moon pull, and when you do your half moon pull, am I moving my shoulder down towards the bottom of the pool? That's going to drag your body under the water yet again. Number 3, when I add power back into my arms, are my knees bending while I kick? If you need to, go back and do a little bit more of the kicking. Understand that you got to keep those straight legs. Those straight legs will help keep your lower half on top of the water better than anything else you will do. The final thing that you need to check and see is your lower back. I'm going to do a full deep dive. At the time of this recording, my next Team Zoot live stream I will do is on body positioning. I'm going to talk a lot about that lower back. I wasn't watching your lower back, but right now your pull and your kick are two much bigger fish to fry. Your lower back body positioning, I wouldn't worry about that too much just yet. That would be the next step that I would want to look into in terms of your body positioning. But first, we want to fix the pull and we want to fix the kick. See if those two things combined will help elevate your body positioning, getting it on top of the water. So, Josh, that is it for my deep dive stroke analysis. I do realize it's about 50 minutes long. I do apologize for the length of these. It's just really hard for me. Just understand, swimming is a very technical sport, and it is a sport that not a lot of people have a lot of experience in, and it's really hard to understand what's going on because water's weird. So because of that, I like to, overanalyze things, really give you a lot of information. Take this as a buffet, watch different parts of it, glean anything, any questions at all, feel free to email me, no questions asked. So that's it. That's it for this. So remember, if you want me to take your footage and analyze it like this, shoot me an email, theferrell@gmail.com, DM me on Facebook, or just leave a message in the comments, and I'll reach out to you and I'll get your footage and whatever. If you live in the Los Angeles County area, I do in-person swim lessons. My availability is going to be short during the school year. At the time of recording, school starts next week. So I don't have that many slots available, but if you want, I can figure out something. We can find a way to meet and we can do a swim lesson together. So once again, thank you very much, Team Zoot, for partially sponsoring this stream. They're a wonderful partner to work with. Let's just say it that much. And once again, thank you, Josh, for sending in this footage. Any questions, shoot me an email. So until later, my friends, good night, Isaiah Norris, wherever you are. I'm out of here. Goodbye, everyone. Goodbye.